the Lorax. I speak for the trees. The street of lifted Lorax, at the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing expecting old crows in the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood just as long as it could before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there, and why was it lifted and taken somewhere from the far end of town where the grickle grass grows? The old onceler still lives there. Ask him. He knows. You won't see the onceler, don't knock on his door. He stays in his lurkum on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkum cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffled moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay money. The onceler, that's his house. Whoa. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. Then he pulls up the pail and makes the most careful count to see what you've paid him, the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his sniv, his secret strange hole in his grovelous glove. Ugh. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone. Slowly. Down slaps the whisper-ma-phone to your ear, and the old onceler whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. Ooh. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the clouds were still clean and the song of the swami swans rang out in space, one morning I came to this glorious place. And I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. Ah! Whoa. Don't hit the camera. Connor, stop. Get off the pillow. No jumping on the pillows, okay? Go over there. Little chicken. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffula flutes. Fruits? From the rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those truffula trees. All my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their troughs was much softer than silk, and they had sweet smell of fresh buttery milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I'd unload the cart, and then I'd fart. Nah, he didn't say that. The oncelers. In no time at all I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree with one chop, and with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed I took the soft tuft and I knitted a thneed. The instant I'd finished, I'd heard a gazump. I looked, I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. Good job. I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortest and oldest and brownest and mosey, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpest and bosey. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees, for the trees have no tongues, and I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset and shouted and puffed, what's this thing you've made out of my truffula tuft? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped down one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed is a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat, but it has other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can Use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers, or bicycle seats. The Lorax said,
Sir, you're crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that food.